Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. Secretary Mnuchin, I like you and everybody, I think most everybody has been somewhat amazed with the results of the Tax Act and Jobs Act. I thought it would do a lot of good things. It appears to have done even more. But it does bear out the old saying that tax policy drives economic decisions. I think the policy of this administration and the policy that we passed is showing a reinvestment in America, American corporations, but a reinvestment also in their people, excuse me, through stock donations, through increases in pay, through reinvestment into their businesses. And we're going to get a large reward for that in the future because those businesses are going to grow. You know, the regulatory relief that's taken place under this administration combined with the tax changes that have incentivized investment and business have done a lot for this economy and have built the consumer confidence level, which is so critical to our economic prosperity as a country. So I just want to commend you on being a part of that. Thank you for what you're doing with that. Thank you for the job that you're doing. I also want to say that it is easy for any of us to demonize the upper 1% of anything, the top of anything, whether performance-wise, whether it's in income or whatever else. But they invest an awful lot of money in our country that wouldn't be invested otherwise. I live in a city called Atlanta that's led by a corporate leader called Coca-Cola, which is a little syrupy soft drink that was developed in the 1906, which now has funded universities and hospitals and research and advancement for years, and those are monies by the private sector and the upper 1% that have made our city better. Home Depot started in Atlanta, Georgia. Two hardware store guys had an idea about how to change selling hardware and revolutionize that business, Arthur Blank and Bernie Marcus, and they did so. So there are a lot of actors out there who've done some things that would be less than admirable, but there are a lot of people in that top 1% who've done things that are unimaginable and would not have been possible in our country before. So I just wanted to say that first and foremost. I also want to take a liberty of taking your time to talk about something that's not under your auspices and not under your responsibility, but it's a part of the budget, it's a part of our country's infrastructure, and needs to be addressed in the President's budget this year, and that's the Port of Savannah. Port of Savannah is the most profitable port on the east coast of the United States. Is a net export port. It is a port where 19 years ago we authorized its expansion to 47 feet, in depth to 47 feet. Have over the course of time reauthorized it, and 3 years ago approved it, and my state put $285 million in that project at the request of the United States government, which the United States government promised it would follow with investment in the Corps of Engineers to complete the $600,000 expansion of that port so the Panamax ships of the 21st century that are going through the Panama Canal can come to the most profitable export port in the United States of America, the Port of Savannah. The current budget falls short, and the President's recommendation recommends $49 million for the federal share of finishing that project. That, unfortunately, is just enough to get us to have to go back and redredge the sediment we've already taken out, but not enough to continue to expand the port. So I'm going to be talking every time I get the chance to encourage the administration to look at the Port of Savannah and the harbor deepening project that has been for 19 years authorized by this Congress, has been underway for the last 3 in the state of Georgia with some federal money and mostly state money. And it's time for the feds to deliver on their part of that investment, and I'm going to do everything I can to fight to see that we get it done, because if we don't, we're going to lose jobs and we're going to lose opportunity. That port generates 300,000 jobs in the southeastern United States and billions of dollars in income to the companies and the individuals in the United States, and we've got to see to it we finish its expansion, or else we're going to get passed by as a country as a port of call for the ships coming through the Panama Canal, and that's going to go, business is going to go somewhere else, and we don't want that to happen. So you don't have to respond to that except to tell me that you'll keep the Port of Savannah in mind, and when you sit around the table,
I will keep it in mind.
Because it's good for America, it's good for the guy that collects his taxes, and it's good for the Treasury of the United States of America. Thank you very much.